Anyone else feeling really super scattered? I'm just really aware that everything today feels discombobulated. That's the word for me for COVID-19 quarantine. Discombobulated. I have felt like out of rhythm with myself at times, and at the same time, I have been super calm and I have felt very peaceful. And the interesting thing about that is, as I have felt peaceful and as I have felt calm, I have noticed the chaos going on outside my house. And it's that contrast that I've been like, what's happening? That is what has scared me. The fact that I have been at peace and calm inside while those that I super care about that are close to me are freaking out and the people outside the world are freaking out. It is chaos magic at its best. You know, one of the things I'm noticing is my energy system is in a different rhythm than it's ever been before. I'm noticing that time is wonky. That's the only way I can put it. Like, I was doing a project today that normally would take me 5 minutes. And when I got done and I looked at the clock, 2 hours and 32 minutes had passed. And I was like, what is happening? And it's like that with everything. And so some of what's coming up for me is I wanted to share my awarenesses with you. Because from the very onset of this, I have been having these visions, and I have shared a little bit, but I've mostly stayed quiet. But yesterday, many of those visions solidified, I guess is the way I can put it. One of the things I know about this period of time that we're in is a big energy portal has opened up. And the way I see it, the way I've been shown, is it reminds me a lot of the gateway in the never-ending story. The gateway that I believe it's Atreyu has to go through that has the gigantic sphinxes that are overlooking the gateway, and he has to walk through it. And if anybody that walks through that, they have to be pure of heart. And if they're not pure of heart, the Sphinx's eyes open and lasers come out and they die. And so what I've seen is a portal that looks very similar like that, a gateway. And it is guarded by gigantic sentinels. And the object of this gateway is that it is a magnifying energy. It is magnifying our focus, which is why for the last 2-3 weeks, I don't know how long this has been going on, however long this has been going on, I've been talking about being sure that you're aware of what you're focusing on. During the process of walking through this gateway, those of us who are pure of heart are walking through it with the intention to get on the other side in a new world. This is literally the process of, dare I say it, it's the process of, oh, I'm afraid to say this, it's the process of linear ascension. I'm going to put it that way. It's a transformation process, and it is like in the movie Adjustment Bureau with the books, and they have the swirly things in it that they call inflection points, that when their map goes beyond an inflection point, there's no turning back. This gateway is a gigantic inflection point. No turning back. Once we get through this energy and we're on the other side, the choices that we've made in this gateway set the tone of our life moving forward, which is why I've continued to stress the fact that it's super important that you focus on peace and calm, because we are literally going into a human transformation process. And we're in the middle of it. So my invitation to you in relation to that is to choose your focus wisely. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is it isn't important what has happened in the past. This is an inflection point. When we get through it, what was past is in the past, and we won't actually be able to reach it anymore. If you stay focused on what wasn't working back there, if you stay focused on who did what wrong and who's failing and if you stay focused on anything from the past while we're walking through this gateway that magnifies our energy, if you stay focused on the past, you're not actually going to move through the energy, the transformation that this portal is bringing us. Once we're through this inflection point, the past is the past and we won't be able to return to it. There are many people that are really hooked to the past, really stuck in blame. They're stuck in victim mode. They're stuck in hurt. Do everything in your power to clear your energy of past hurt and past blame. Do everything in your power to embrace forgiveness. Do everything in your power to clear your energy while we are in this inflection point, because this inflection point, as I mentioned, is a magnifier, which means if you magnify the pure energy and the clear energy that you're creating right now, that's what you move into the next world with. Now, for centuries, many centuries, religions and spiritual communities have talked about the battle of good and evil. It's been converted to the battle of good and evil, when in truth it was the battle of light and dark originally, and then humans put their spin on it and made it good and evil, and laced it with judgment. The truth is, right now we are in a period of choosing light versus dark, choosing our path. Light does not guarantee good. Dark does not guarantee evil, and I really want to stress that point. Light is not good or evil. Dark is not good or evil. Light is illumination or weightlessness. Dark is lack of illumination. There's no light source. That's all. Energy is energy is energy. And so in this moment, as we're in this portal of magnifying energy, choose what feels light. I'm here to tell you what feels light for you might be very different from what feels light to me. And I invite you to stay out of judgment. Judgment is such a divisive energy, and my friends, we already are so divided on this planet. Let's do what we can to unite. Now, the one thing that I did want to share with you, and this is super controversial because of my vast network of people and the variety of religions that are involved in my network. There was an activity that set into motion a string of events that many of us are not able to comprehend. It was a big energy that was unleashed on this planet. And I wanted to share with you that several of my peers and I have been communicating about this behind the scenes, not publicly in a public forum, but behind the scenes. And we've been shown that the energy that is happening on this planet, whatever you want to call them, God, universe, source, great plumber in the sky, whatever you want to call this higher power, or if it's science for those of you that are atheists, the dimensional beings, the higher energies, spirit, universe, creator, all of those higher powers that are able to see more than humans are with our limited scope of vision. They are very aware of what is going on this planet right now at this time. We are not alone. Those of you who are light workers, or those of you who, like me, call yourself dark workers, and I'll explain a little bit about that. I call myself a dark worker not because I throw around dark energy, but because I am willing to dive into the dark spaces that need to be liberated. I'm willing to play in the dark. It doesn't scare me. And so I go into the dark. I go into those places with humans to release the effects of trauma that are buried in the dark so that they can be liberated and return to the light. those of you that align with light work or those of you that align with dark work, our teams, our dudes, that's what I call them. I'm super irreverent about my spirit guides. My dudes, your dudes, our dudes are super aware of what we're doing here, and they've got our back. They are on top of what was unleashed. They are working to neutralize the forces that seem to be countering the progress that humanity is trying to make. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is when that portal opened Saturday night, that portal is different than the gateway that I'm talking about. That portal is in addition to the gateway. So there's several things happening on this planet all at once. I referred to the battle of good and evil that has been taught to us for decades, centuries. I referred to that earlier, and I want to come back to that because it's now. It is right now. This is the time that we've been preparing for. You as a light worker or a dark worker, this is the time. This is the time that you need to pull out all of your tools. Every modality that you have in your tool belt, pull it out and use it for yourself first, your families next, and then your community, and then the world. And that is what they are asking us to do. It is imperative as we're in this gateway of magnifying energy that we ourselves remain anchored in the light and we remain anchored on a foundation of faith. Now, many people that I have talked with over the last few days, their faith is shaking because of the chaos that's going on on the planet. And I keep going like this because I'm sitting beside a window, and that gesture means out there. I've created my home as a sanctuary, a space of peace. And I'm very aware that when I step outside my door, the energy is different out there. And all of you epics, I imagine you're experiencing the same thing. Even from within your homes, you can feel at times the energy escalating and crashing, which is why we have to remain solid on a foundation of faith. You know the truth, my friend. You do. You know what is light. You know how to thrive. In every single moment, you have within you every single tool you need to thrive throughout this time. Another thing that I've been shown about this particular inflection point that we're going through is it's going to change the economic stratosphere. When we get on the other side of this gateway, what used to work is no longer going to work. This particular inflection point is related to the millennial movement of bringing down the systems. We've known it was coming. As long as you've been a part of the spiritual awareness, the community, the new age, the consciousness movement, you've known that the millennial generation was coming here to bring down the systems that were no longer working. Education, government, healthcare, and the economy. These systems aren't working anymore, and what is happening on this planet right now has hit every single one of those systems. It's all part of what we knew was coming. So I'm here to tell you, number one, you are not alone. They have our backs. They are walking with us, and they are here in droves. And whew, wow, I invite you to regularly tune in to your dudes. Ask them to be with you. If you haven't done spirit guide work or you haven't worked with your dudes before, reach out to me and I can guide you through that. I can support you in connecting. Connect with them, walk with them, listen to them, allow them to show you. They are readily willing and able to give you the information you need. They're willing and able to remind you of what you know, to wake up you inside of you, because that's what we need now. Number two, remember, Focus on what feels light. Remember what it feels like to feel love, truth of love within you, not possession that humans on this planet have decided love means, but that true allowance and acceptance and gratitude. Remember and return to that and reflect that outward. Number 3, the people that you are quarantined with right now are on your team. We have to strengthen our families. Part of the reason why this inflection point has exploded in the way that it has is to bring all of the families back into a family unit. Humanity has done a marvelous number, especially in this nation, in the United States, has done a marvelous number on destroying the family unit. We are stronger when we are together. You have the family that you live with, no matter what state of family that is. If there is contention in your home, resolve it and return to peace. Then you have this family that's gathered here together right now. And those of us that will be joining at a later date to listen into this. You are not alone. Family is important now. Remember that the people you live with are on your team. They're not your enemies. I don't remember what number that was. I think that was 3. Number 4, remember to breathe. Time is intense right now. This is a very, very energetically intense time. When you breathe, it allows you to return to your center. And I promise you, if you continue to return to the center of you, you will be at peace. Because you here, this physical body is a divine unit. And then the soul within this physical body is a divine unit. Divinity is in alignment with truth. It is truth. Your body and your soul are truth. When you breathe, there is nowhere else that you can be other than right here. And here is truth. This is where you need to consciously return time and time again. Anytime you feel the energy pulling you out, it's time to breathe and get recentered. Number 5, I think, remember you are love. You are loved. You are lovable. No matter what your romantic situation is right now, the love that I'm talking about is entirely outside of romantic love. You were created from love. Even if the sperm and the egg was mixed in a petri dish and injected into the female body that housed you while you gestated. There has been scientific proof that at the moment when the egg meets, or when the sperm meets the egg, there is a burst of light. God spark in that moment. You are energy. You are powerful. What you focus on becomes your reality. Pay no attention to all of the clamoring out there. Pay no attention to it, because you are truth. You are divinity in a body right now. You are infinite possibilities. So tap into that to make a difference on this planet right now. Remember, You have the power to create your future in any way that you want to do. So use this inflection point to make it magnificent for yourself going forward, because we are building the new world right now. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing this, and thank you for reaching out to me behind the scenes. I have loved interacting with all of you as this time, this crazy time that we're all experiencing together. I've loved interacting with you behind the scenes. Remember to share this video, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am also offering my services as the Phoenix at a drastically reduced rate. So if you're needing mentoring or support, if you're wanting to expand your capacities, now is the time to do it, because we're in a magical inflection point. You might as well dive in. You've got all the time in the world and nowhere to be. So reach out to me if you're interested in that. I love you so much. Thank you for choosing to keep on keeping on. Be safe, be well, and surround yourself in light. Create yourself a beautiful day, and we'll talk soon. I love you. Bye-bye.